Sitting here on our last exercise, it seems difficult to imagine that it's been 9 weeks since we started basic training at Rowcroft Barracks.
Shit, so you can't do modifications on it?
No. You can only do what it says, and then it's done.
So if there's a slight layer of polish on the floor, right? Don't worry too much about that. Get all the marks off and all the gunge out the corners and all the paint marks off the floor, etc. That's the important bit, right? And it's just going to be hard work, that's all. Hard work and bags of effort. There's nothing else I can say. I can't, there's no other kit available to you at the moment.
Probably one of the biggest surprises in my introductory week was the standard of the block that they needed. They had to keep it clean all the time. We needed our kit pressed iron all the time, really clean. We got inspected on them daily.
Did anybody tell Edel to get some blue tack?
No, you should know.
Hey? You're surprised if you don't get it? No, I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
Right, let's deal with the boots first because they're the easiest thing at the moment. Right, here we have a boot combat high. The leather on these is considerably harder than the leather on the DMS. It's harder to break in. We've had a lot of problems with these, with guys getting blisters, right? So listening to what I'm going to say to you now, because it'll avoid you having a lot of pain and possibly getting binned off the course. Not through any fault of your own particularly, only for the fact that you haven't looked after your feet. Because if your feet get into a bad state, you can't do the physical side of the course, then you'll be binned off it and put back squadded into another platoon, right? Now then, there are various methods of breaking these boots in, right? One that you will find that you will be doing without any effort from yourself is running through lots of mud and wet grass. If you get these really soaking wet and then run in them and run with them until they're dry, then normally that breaks them in. Hard as mine, because that's the method I use to break them in. Then to make sure your feet don't get damaged in the process, we've got some oil here. Right. Now this oil is Neat's foot oil, right? It is specially formulated and purified not to damage your feet. It isn't any old gas cooking oil, right? This is the proper stuff. What I want you all to do tonight is to get a rag, preferably if you just get one rag between the section, and go round one man at a time with a soaking rag and simply, with a soaking rag, simply smear the oil all over the outside of the boot, so that by tomorrow morning the oil has soaked in. In fact, it won't take that long. So if you do that immediately after I finish talking, by the time you go to bed you'll be able to get some polish on, which is what I'm going to go on to next. Okay, method of application. Now most of you will have polished shoes before, so I hope this is all a little bit teaching grannies to suck eggs. However, in the event of it not being, I'm going to have to go through it with you. And here we have a pair of teensy-weensy shoes, right? I normally prefer slightly larger, manlier ones. However, these will do. Right, method of application. Dead easy. Get yourself some polish on your brush. Get your boot. If you stick your arm down it, it's nice and firm and fixed on there so that you can do what you want with it. And simply put the polish all over the boot. Now at this stage particularly, you want to make sure that you do polish all the way in there, because the polish itself will help to soften the boot. And if you get polish into the corners in there, then that will help prevent you getting blisters and sores on your feet. Alright? Get the polish all over the boot.
You have to work hard at it. Don't spoil it. Turning. Move to the left. Entries. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
In my early days of basic training, I had a few problems with my jaw. But the army system of numbers, I check 1, 2, 3, so they put me on the right track.
Touch 1, 2. You're swimming yourself round. What are you laughing at, Todd? If you were standing outside here, you would be laughing. We can't laugh from where you are. Shut up. Shut up. Step off together. By the right. Quick. Charge. Left, right, left, right, left, right, now! Turn! Out! Check! 1, 2! Quick march! Left, right, left, right, left, right, now! Turn! Out! Check! 1, 2!
Corporal.
Hinks. Hollenby. Manasseh. Morelli. Patterson. Prasser. Saunders. Smith 86. Where are we?
He's in sequel.
Smith
Dress back!
Come on, stupid.
Anybody cold? Nobody cold.
Punch him, will you? He comes past.
Come on, hurry up! Anybody cold?
No, Sergeant.
Stand still. Double mark time. Get your knees up. Get him up. Get him on that fucking bit. He's up there.
Set charge. Forward.
Forward!
With me.
Yes, yes. Closer! Closer! If I catch you, you're dead. Come on.
Looking back on the first mile run, it wasn't the actual run that was so hard, but afterwards we were sent on a series of circuits over the bunkers. Each time we had to do them in a certain time, say 60 seconds over 8 bunkers, and if the whole platoon didn't complete it, we had to go again and again until the time was achieved. Also, the PTIs do not accept any excuses, lameness, whatever. So really it's the physical and mental attributes which get us all through.
Second. Every time somebody doesn't do it in under 45 seconds,
Back to the block.
go again.
Back to the block.
I don't think so. I've got to be talking about fucking stand to attention like that. Stand on front of their knees and you're running all the way.
Round, 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 round! Break! Go! Get the people in the back going now. Get moving! This might be the last one, depending on the performance. Stand by, go! Come on! Come on! I told you if you didn't try, you'd go round again. I like to keep my word. Stand by, go! People start working. Get up, you! All your legs up! Get up! We're going to be sending the platoon round again! Get up! Go! Come on, get up, get up, get up! Down, 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 straight away, get up! Come on, don't worry about crap, get in. Come on, move yourself, look. Come on, line everybody down. Come on, get up. Go, come on, move. Straight down. Come on, turn. Come on, work on, up, go. Come on, go. Come on, Brett, get your hands Come on, go! Come on, go, Brett, go! Fine, it's done by now, come on, move, go. Come on. Right, three section, move yourself. Go, down. Come on, move yourself. Once you've done your press dance, let's go. Go, down. Get up, now! Go all the way down without touching the floor. When I say up, you go half the way up. When I say up again, you go all the way up. You understand? Yes, Sergeant. You understand? Yes, Sergeant. Now, one yet. Up! Down! Down! Up! Get your bodies off the floor! Up! Only halfway! Get down! Up! Down! Down! Stay there, holding! Hold your bodies off the floor! Up! Halfway down! Up! Okay, dogs on your backs! Hands on your head! Go! On your back! Right, so pick up to my timing. Up! And down! Up! And down! And down! And down! Up! And down! Up! And down! Right!
When I first come here, I had a lot of problems with the running because I didn't do enough training before I come here, and I found them really hard and struggled a lot, and some of them I didn't get through. So I got back squatted 2 weeks from Alamein into Normandy, and they seem to have done all right because, well, I mean, I've passed them. I still struggled, and I found them hard, but I passed them. So hopefully I'll be getting through. It's horrible.
I've got the breakfast section one in here.
Right.
Yeah.
What we got in there?
Get it over. That's it.
Hey, what's really sugary?
Don't complain.
Probably one of the most ghastly experiences that we have during our basic training here is the MBC training test that we have in the gas chambers. Up till about week 5, all of our training is consisted of in the classroom doing all written work. But in about week 5 or 6, we do a practical test in the gas chambers, which includes eating and drinking drills, which, if not done correctly, could result in you getting a blast of the riot control gas which we use as training. This is very uncomfortable and is not very nice.
7 years, alright? If you look on the side of the canister, you'll find a date there, right? Anybody's expires over 7 years, shouldn't be, because it comes straight from the stores. Right? When else should we change a canister?
After the second year, I would say.
Possibly. Right, possibly. What else? We've virtually covered them all, haven't we? I should say. And the CS chamber represents a house or a building like you take a cover under. But you always assume that chemicals, right, are around you anyway, right, until proven otherwise. Do you understand? Right? Once we get in there, you will then run through combat decontamination. Have you got your DKP1 on Tinder yet?
Also, issues.
And the liquid sugar, right, it's combat decontamination. Right, I'll run through that with you inside because I've got one with me. Right, I'll show you how that's done. As I come along, just breathe in and out, and I will test to make sure your respirator is fitted correctly to your face. Okay, now. Good, okay. If your respirator is loose, and tighten up with the straps around the head. Once I pass you, suck in. Once I pass you, take the respirator off, put the canister back on, suck in. Suck in. That's it, yeah. See, it's working because it's pulling in. Once you've done that, put the canister on and put it away in the pouch.
Bring our pouches from circle.
Okay. That's it, suck in, come on. It's okay. Pull out. Suck in. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's working, yeah. Fine. Suck in. Yeah, fine. Suck in. You all know what DKP1 is, DKP2. Take your respirator off, put your canister on it, and then hold it in the left hand, as I just said. Okay, DKP1 and 2, and inside there is the door, right, there is a pad of fuller's earth. Have you all gone through the drills, right, of using one of these? Yes, you have. Right, so what is the action then? Blocked, bang, rub. Okay? When we go inside, just continue walking round inside in a circle. I want you then to, if anybody feels any effect, put their hand up, right, and I'll ask you at every stage of the game if anybody is having any problems. Right, that'll do then. Okay, now you've got a problem, don't forget to follow us inside. Here you go. You can, come on.
After we've done the eating and drinking, we then have to take our gas masks off, shout out name, rank and number, sir, and then get out the door as quickly as possible without trying to breathe in. If you breathe in, it's very, very bad, and it can give you quite a bad choking sensation. So it is important that our training like that is done correctly.
Is it stinging you now? Yeah, it's not my nostril.
Oh, Jesus!
Similar to what we did before. What are you doing, Baxter? Are you getting in the bin or what? Right, come to attention. Right. Find the left wheel, march, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, sprint.
Right wheel. Right wheel. Right.
National camera!
Trouble knows which way to go. Oh, I feel like Annika Rice. Well, I'll be going all over camp. We're going everywhere.
Come on, get up here! Come on! Come on! Don't say no such a day and run! Stand by. Go! Keep tight, let's go! Get them sorted out! Get them up! Get them up! Come on! Get in the water! Get in! Woo! Two up. Come on! Come on! Right! Right! What's going on in the end? Come on up your legs! Can't run wide again! Come on! Come on! Cross it! On. Run! Get your knees up, get them up! Come on! Hey. Come on, Hill! Back again! Back again! Back again! Come on! Come on, Larry! Come on! Come on!
Good effort.
Well done, well done, well done. That's it, that's it. Come on. Come on, running across now.
I'm getting stressed.
Back again, Hill, back again. Keep your knees up. Get him up. Come on, lad. Come on, Hill, you've got to do it this time. Come on. Run. Get him up. Get him up. Knees up. Get him up.
Keep your legs working.
Go on, Burma. Forward.
Come on, get the knees up. Keep the gap closed up. Back in Burma, not over down.
Come on, out. Come on. Come on. Oh, you bastard. Come on, faster. On the foot. Come on, lad. Right, go. Come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. That's it. Put your legs up. Get them up. Get them up. Come on, there's no question and no answer in this. Come on. Come on, get out. Come on. Get out. Get ready. Get him up. Second, to split to the goalpost over there. Go round it from left to right and sprint back again. I want to see the last man. Go! Go, Chris. Teamwork, lads. Take me out on the big one. Come on, Walker! Come on, I want to see the last man back! Blitz! Come on, he's in front! Overtake him! Come on, work hard! Well done, Colin! Well done! Come on, work hard! See if you can beat the man in front of you! Overtake him! Overtake him! Come on, Colin! Overtake him! Come on! Work hard! Come on, work hard! That's it! Well done! Ball, get here! Get them off! It's back! Okay, last time this time, because we can do it a little bit faster. Stand by! Go! Come on, sprint! Sprint! It's only 200 metres. Get in there, get in, fall in, fall in, fall in. Yeah, I know. Come on, Air Max, now you can be ahead of him, heads up behind him. Come on. Keep them up, John, come on. Get in there! Come on, keep it moving, get your legs up! Get him up, Chris. Knees up! Get him up, Chris, come on, keep it moving there. Right wheel forward! Come on! Come on, Dad! Come on, get up there!
This is a bit different from the 24 exercise that we had in week 6. In week 6 we learnt the basics of making bashers, making your pot, and generally just living out in the field. We've done that for one night. This is where we learned to use the 24-hour ration pack in the field. During the day we were shown how to use it, and at night we used it for our main meal.
On this exercise, we're sleeping in trenches, whereas on the 24-hour exercise we were in bashes, which is basically our ponchos strapped up between a couple of trees with the bungees, and he just kept under it. But even though I said we sleep in trenches on this exercise, we've not got any sleep yet.
Down on one knee there. Rambo! Get back a bit. Get back a bit, John.
Don't forget to shout move, Skew.
Yeah. Down there. Hurry, gooder. I'll give the signal to move, which is bring the arm through. Pass it on, make sure. Hanley, shut up. Signal to move. Sweeping the hand forward. Make sure everybody down the line gets the signal.
Yes.
Right?
Will you give the order to make ready, or do we make ready as them?
And then open fire. Okay? Make sure he knows you've given him that signal. Look round when you're giving the signal. Don't just flick your eye. Come under enemy fire. Take cover! Come on, let's think about this extended line. Come on, man on the end, catch her. Has anybody seen the enemy?
Yes, yes. To the front, 200 metres just left of the woods.
Good, good.
Fire! Go! Section, prepare to move in half section. Alpha fire team, move first. Bravo team, give covering fire. Move! Hanley, just move up, leave it. Move! 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 Hanley, leave it, just catch her. Stop it, leave it, move! Stop! Gun crew, move forward, 30 yards. Section, give covering fire!
ammo. Go! Real! Real! Move out. Move out that way. Gun group, 6 o'clock position. Right. Apply your safety catches. Make safe everywhere. Right, everybody turn in and look, face me. Listen in. Lay your weapons down. Come on. Sit up like Hanley. Lay your weapons across you. Right. It's good attack. Quite good. Where is he? Evans, you're the only one unnoticed. The rest are probably the same. As we're advancing, as pairs, you're pointing your weapon across that way, which means you're pointing it at me and Hill. Which means I'm gonna have a serious sense of human failure if you happen to hit me with it. Same with probably all of you. If you're running forward, you keep advancing forward. There may not be any enemy down there. You don't know that. You know there's some there. There could still be some there. There could even be some out there that won't open up until you're in all-round defence. Think about it. Think about it. If you ever get on to do a live firing exercise, you'll kill someone. Now think about it. Other than that, not a bad attack at all. My fault with the gun group, I should have moved you forward. So well done, Francis, for thinking about moving forward yourself. Yeah. I should have done it.
Okay, now start crawling forward into decent far positions if you're not already in one. Prepare to skirmish. First men ready. Move! Go. Come on, first men should be firing. Get down, start firing. Your partner gets firing, you move. Not firing back. Move, come on. Move. Keep going. Say stop, unload. In this way. Right. Oh, I went wrong that time. Maybe more. There might be some out there. There might be some out there. If you'll converge on one point, and some enemy you haven't seen before starts opening fire, then you've had it. Okay. So you keep advancing on the same axis that you started off on, and you move through the enemy position on the same line. Okay.
Gun group being first, section command will come out along this line, 2 o'clock line, place the gun group, then place its rifle group along there. With me? Good. Then 2 section comes in, section command picks them up, puts the gun group down on the right of the section and distributes the section along that line. Okay? Then 3 section comes in and 1 man will go out, through the gun group of the section to their left, okay? So through the farthest left-hand man, and out. Along, and back through their own gun group. Yep. The reason for this is to check out any tracks, any possible enemy positions, anything platoon commander should know about in the close proximity of the patrol harbour. Alright? It's information gathering. They don't go out very far, 15 to 20 metres. Okay? As far as visibility allows. Back in, each of the 3 section commanders goes out, does that. Then sentries are posted. Okay? One man goes out, section commander takes him out, he's done sentries, he's posted, section commander tells him where to go, and he has a communication line, and he's out there during the days of the daylight hours. Okay? There's one sentry per section. Once the sentry is out, the work routine can start. Okay? Shell scrapes can be dug for protection. Latrines can be dug. Tracks around the patrol harbour can be set up. Line around the edge of the patrol harbour can be set up so people don't stagger outside the perimeter at night. Okay? The tracks again are so that there is one set route around the patrol harbour. All these jobs are done during the days of the hours of daylight. One section first, 2 sections second, 3 sections third. Okay, in single file, follow me around here. The platoon will get down and I will take my recce group forward to check the location. Okay? So each of the section commanders will come with me. I will take my runner from platoon headquarters, section 2 ICs to the front of each section, and gun groups from each 1 and 2 sections also go to the front.
Is left. The remainder of the platoon will move into all-round defence while the R group is away. What I now want you to do is for the point section to move into all-round defence covering the arcs 10 o'clock through 12 o'clock. Do that now. Just push out. Still staying in your same order. And kneel down. The left rear section to close in slightly and covering the arcs 6 o'clock through 10 o'clock.
The platoon are being shown how to move into a platoon harbour location. They are doing it in an open field in daylight, so they can see their exact locations and positions before they do it later in the dark.
Tie up with the section on your left, which is one section. Don't leave a big gap there. And still stay in your same order. Get yourself spaced out equally. While you're lying down in those fire positions, just listen in to me and I'll tell you what's going on. The platoon has been moving forward in whatever formation's been necessary. At this point it was 1 up. There's 1 section in the point, 2 section left rear and 3 section right rear. Platoon commander decided that it is time for the platoon to go into harbour location. The platoon is stopped. Platoon commander is called for R group. Section commanders and the guides have gone forward to the platoon commander, and the 2 ICs of the sections have taken over command of their sections. 2 ICs, put your hands up now. Have the 2 ICs been allocated? 1 2 IC there. Other 2 ICs? There's 2 IC of that section.
The two ICs are now in command of their section, and a platoon sergeant staying back with the main platoon is in command of the platoon. Where each trench will be by the platoon commander, and the guides are being shown where the section will be led to. On the return of the guides, the platoon will move out in single file formation, with number 1 section leading, followed by number 2 section, followed by number 3 section. Section 2 ICs will be at the front in each case. And he's about to say, fine. He'll stay at the front. The platoon sergeant during the move out will be directly at the rear, helping to assist anybody that needs to be assisted. Prepare to move. 1 section, 2 ICs, follow the guide. During the move into the harbour, you stay well closed up. Do not space out. Stay well closed up. Better control. Three section. There. Who's goes my 3 section? There we are. There we are. Get down. Down. Next down. 2. Back right. Next. Good. 3. Me. That's it. Again, you'll be roughly in the position that you will be when you're on fire straight up the tree there. We've now moved through the 6 o'clock position and into the position of the platoon harbour. You'll stay facing outwards. You may well drop your Bergens or large packs as ordered, but the remainder of your webbing and equipment will be kept in a state of readiness. Keep your eyes and ears peeled and ready for the next part.
The platoon commander will now go forward to 1 section, be met by the section commander and be escorted through each section in turn. He will adjust positions and tell each individual man what his arcs are.
You see the little bush there? Okay? That's your right hand arc. Okay? See?
You listen to this thing, you're 2 IC, you're in charge of the gun.
Left hand arc. Cross push up. See?
Good.
Left hand arc over there.
Go in the woods and do the press-ups.
See tall bushy top tree. That's your right hand arc. Left hand arc. Okay?
You're working with him, you should be listening into what
See the house.
side.
Alright? See?
Okay, you're
You cover that area in that arc.
For the shell scrapes and bashes that you will be living in tonight.
Okay. So, left hand arc. Get down there. Right?
You're in now, the pairs that you will be in tonight.
The object of the 24-hour exercise is to teach the recruits, first of all, living in the field, living under field conditions for the first time, and also how to cook for themselves under field conditions as an 8-man section. Some of this they've been taught before leaving camp, so it's also revision of things taught there. They'll also learn to move tactically across open and covered ground, again in patrols and on attacks, and also learn how to react to effective enemy fire, go to ground and put in an attack. This is all a lead up then to the 36-hour exercise, where we take them out and hopefully everything comes together and we can run the thing tactically from start to finish.
Put a small amount of petrol into the tray around it. Next thing, it says on the instructions 6 times. Best thing to do according to St. Osborne is a few more than that. Give it an extra couple of pumps. So, have left off.
That I'm not cooking.
I've got the sub on around the table. Yeah, she's touching the meat, isn't it? Smit off. Look, I've worried. John Blair's not bad, but this piece of biscuit.
Surprised it's even worked myself. Right, so you now know how to do it. Especially you two cooks. Especially you two that are doing the cooking.
Everyone's a bit hot.
Right, quiet now, listen in. Ration pack. This one we've got for you lot. Nice 4-man ration pack. No. Tell you what you've got. You've got menu
E. Menu E.
Menu E. Green pea soup, steak kidney pudding, potatoes and peas.
Chicken fried rice. Now what are we getting?
I think everyone. No, there's different menus, so you can have a compilation. You two cooks, put your hat on properly. What you two cooks have got to concentrate on doing is knowing somebody. There's some whinging little cretin here who doesn't like something, so you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to cater. Listen in. You're gonna have to cater for whatever he wants. Better still, just throw everything in one big tin, cook it all in together. Cook it all in together. Just mix it all up.
Best way. I make this better that way.
Right. Ration packs. You get your 3 main meals in. Breakfast. You get a large meal for dinner, and then tea. It's more of a snack sort of meal. So for breakfast, on your menu you'd have. No, let me see. See if I can find the things. Oatmeal blocks. With biscuits. Yeah, mash them up. Bit of hot water. Porridge. Lovely it is. Sausages. You've got sausages.
We've got some sausages.
I've actually got some sausages in here, boys. Just not seen them. And beans.
At each target. Okay, that is all you ever fight. It's 1 round at each target. First part of the shoot will be in the standing alert position. Alright, there'll be 4 exposures. I'll say up, you can fire. When I say down, you do not fire. Do you understand? Right, listen in then. With a magazine of 28 rounds, load! Ready? Adopt the standing alert position. Right, 1 round at each target. Work on my ups and downs. Only fire when I say target up. Listen. Up! Down! Got to fire 1 round at each target. All 4 or just the 2? Them 2. 1 at each target. Okay? Listening. Up! Down. Up! Down. Up!
The APWT is our annual personal weapons test. It comprises of firing from different various positions, a prone position, standing position and kneeling position. It's also carried out from various ranges, 100 metres, 200 metres and 300 metres. We fire at various sizes of targets, a figure 11, figure 12, both with and without screens. We also fire an alternative personal weapons test, which comprises varying distances of 25 and 50 metres. It compromises with kneeling, shooting, and kneeling, firing from standing position.
In position. However, when I say target up, it's double forward to the 50 metre point, which is approximately 3 metres in front of you. Standing position, fire 1 round at each exposure. Do you understand the shoot?
Yes, cool.
Sure? Right, listen in. That's a 50 metre point. You should dress over here slightly. See on your target. Listen in with a magazine of 20 rounds. Load. Ready. Ensure your safety catch is applied. When the target appears, you double forward to the 50-metre point, adopt the standing position, safety catch 12, 1 round at each target, understand? Listen in. Up! Down. Right, stoppage there. Cock the weapon, carry out the immediate action. Be sure the magazine's correctly fitted now. Shouldn't have taken it off, should have just pushed it on properly. Right, and dress. Be sure you take catch applied, dress back. You want exposure down. You're 3 shots down now. Listen in. Up! Down. True safety catch is applied, dress back. This time, you will get a 6-second exposure and you will adopt the kneeling position. Understand? Listen in. Up! Down. True safety catch is applied, stand up, dress back. Think about what you're doing. Same again. Up! Stop. True safety catch is applied, stand up. Right, dress across this way slightly, you're off the line, stand still. This time you'll receive double exposures. Alright? On the first exposure, you'll fire 1 round in the standing position at each target. I'll then say down. When I say down, you adopt the kneeling position. When I say up, target reappears, you'll fire 1 round at each target. So it's 2 standing followed by 2 kneeling. You will do that 3 times. Okay? So it's up down. So it's 2 in the standing, 2 in the kneeling, 2 standing, 2 kneeling, 2 standing, 2 kneeling. Understand? Listen in. From the 50-metre point. Don't move. Okay, go slightly forward. Right. Okay, you should be aiming at your target now. Up! Down! Kneeling position. Up! Down! Up! Down!
John,
Where's the red stone? Along there.
Ketchup.
I'm sure there's fish swimming about. It's going to looking worse than last time.
Yeah, what was that, Brad?
Well, yesterday we went out and did the APWT on the SLR, and this morning we're out in this lovely sunshine doing the SMG. And we've all passed up to this point just now, and it's been great fun. Beautiful sunshine. Pity about the food, like, it's adequate.
They're all the film stars.
This is the good lot.
Come near to you, Buddy, take you for the spin. Anyone want a slice of ready food? See if he's still alive.
Good shot. Fresh last year, that, Alan. What it was going up.
Push him on, come round. Okay.
Go on, keep it on. Go on, go. Right, you want to start sprinting away now?
Come on, push, come on. Catch me up, come on. Come on. Come on! Come on!
National School.
It's teamwork. Pull the arms in on a turn. Pull them in. Look up now. Look up. See some style. Neck and the back of the collar. Wilcox, stick your elbows. Pull them in. Push your chest out. Come on, push it out there. Come on, battle chest. Push it out. Push it out. Further. Come on, burst your buttons off. I see you bursting those buttons. Have a talk to Smith. He'll tell you how to do it. Move to the left in threes. Evans! Turn! The arms in on the turn. Come in. Don't bend the body. By the right! Kick! Arch! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Look up now! Look up! By the left! Left! Left!
In week 7 we took part in the SEALs in the Colby Cup competition. It's a timed event consisting of 5 phases. First of all it's the NBC, then weapon assembly, the assault course, stretcher run, and then it goes on to shooting. A time is taken for each section over each event, and the winning section is the section with the best overall time.
Loading them up. Go and get the Sikhs from Burma who want all those spare weapons that they brought over here. 8 of them, all of them. Wait there. Get back. Oi. 3 ranks. 3 ranks, just back. 3 ranks, come on. Straighten up. 3 ranks.
Yes, I've explained it. Stand by!
In the NBC phase, we have 4 minutes to get into the full NBC kit. And after 4 minutes, points are deducted for every article of clothing that is not in the correct place.
Make sure you get the brakes. Come on! Come on! Come on, hurry up!
Cross it over at the front. On the ready of you.
Away, staff. Away. That of it?
Don't forget, cross the lunch at the front. Make sure all the Velcro straps are fastened. No, around the canister. Go on, mate, go on. Come on. Come on, Normandy. Come on, come on. Come on, you lot. Come on, you're working. Come on, move Velcro on your gut as well. Velcro on your side, Belt, Velcro on your side. Now your arms. Stop! Stop! Tighten the back, one straight line down here.
Don't touch anything at all.
Line up.
Come on, one straight line quickly.
Don't touch it.
Stand still. Get your arms down your side, stand still. Stand still, you
Hands firmly. 4. 3. 3. God. That's probably just 19,000. Are you in there? Elephant man?
Hello, Mr. Merrick.
4. It's not properly dressed. 4.
I've always been like this.
4. 3. Right, it's just properly dressed. What's that part called? 3.
Clear up there, sir. Give him rest.
Yes, yeah.
4.
Take that up. From here, you sprint out around the right-hand corner.
Bring the box up with it.
Back here.
In the weapon assembly phase, you have 4 minutes to assemble 4 SLR rifles, 2 SMGs and 2 LMGs. At the end of the 4 minutes, points are deducted for every mistake you make.
This cone, in this direction, you go round the left-hand side, come back round the right-hand side. This section, round the left-hand side, back the right-hand side. Stand by, off the grass, off the grass. Go! Go, lads, get it! Get it, Max.
So you get the So yeah? So I basically did really.
Go on, lads! Give it back, lads! Slowly. Let's not make any mistakes. Let's get them put together quickly. Focus off, keep away. You've been encouraged. Think about what you're doing. Don't nobody think about it. Come on. Can't think about it. Come on. No, 4 minutes.
We've got less than that now.
Here. Spring. The other one, on the left. Spring for the 60. Come on. Push it on over there. Come on. Come on. Together. Well, you got the pack. Come on.
Come on. Stand there on the floor. One man is stand there on the floor.
Start helping something.
Come on, sit. Good, you're thinking now, you're thinking.
Sit, lads, hold you.
Come on, Normandy! Come on, lads! Come on, Get down there, come on! Get that weapon on the floor! Spinning quick! Come on there! I want to one on the table! What's one on the table? Move! Check, please, check your weapon! Do that one, Mick. Oi! Tidy this up! Tidy it up! That weapon's not right. Stop! Stop! Bridget, webbing off NBC kit off and put it back there exactly as you found it. Right, webbing off NBC kit on the step exactly as you found it. Well done, Normandy. Get the kit 1, 2.
Oh, it's warm in there, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. I'll leave that until last. Has anybody stood down? It's not often you get good ones like that.
As soon as that was a pass, just strip them down and put them in the box. 2. Go.
1.
Line up. Oh. Right, get them round to the top, go down stuff. Right, go. Move quickly. Come on.
Dude, you are walking them now because of the gun.
Go and mess up here, lads.
What?
Stretcher ends.
Last of all.
Oh, brilliant.
The finish point is between those 2 cones there. When I give the command go, you pick up the log in sections. You'll run down all together with the log right down to the end, bearing off to the left to the first.
Ready? Go! Come on! Hurry it up! Hold it down, hold it on! Come on! I'm just putting it on the breeding yet! Come on! Hurry up! Get up there! Breeding yet! Faster! Come on! Come on with the pull this down! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop. That section, stop.
Hang on a minute. Oh! You say that you should do it, I'm gonna have you in bell! I'm gonna have you in your ear! Nobody don't get down off the wall! Look at the start! Come on, Burma, keep going! Come on! Keep going! Push! You lost over. Get them on the top of that wall now! Come on, the other side.
Who's coming up here as well?
Turn around!
2 of you coming up here now.
Come on! Come on, here it goes out! There's nobody there! Fucking wall! Push him out! Right, Max, get up! BJ! Help him up! Push, BJ! Come on, Max! Right, good. Any possession, come on, hurry up! He's ready! Keep going. He's ready! Come on, hurry up, get custody together. Let me push you, Pete. Come on, put it out with your feet! Come on! Oh, ready! Keep going, hand over! Don't let 2 men left with each neck. Come on. Come on! Down. Off. Get down, you two! Give me a push! Give me a push! Get him up! Come on, get up your weight now! Start the shoulder! Come on, Come on, Come on, are you ready for it? Come on! Push it. Come on. Walk up the wall, walk up the wall. Get up there. Get up there. Get up there. Get your... Good. Over. Come on. Come on, get over this neck. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, lucky, maybe. Yes, yes, come on. Go on, Alan. Get over, get over, get over. 3 minutes, time. Come on, come on, come on. Shout, what's wrong with you? Go, Ben. Come on, come on, Baxter. Come on, you hanging around. Come on, mate. Go on, straight over. Go on, get over, Ben. As I call up there, come on, Ben. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Right, get on your shoulder, come on. Go, go. Come on, go. Come on, what's wrong? Get over, over, get over. Stop, move, get over, move, get over. Come on, move it. Come on, get it up, get on the wall. Get over, get off. Get over, get moved over. He's the last man. Come move your ass. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, get over, get over. What's all that, man? Pass it up. Need somebody else here now. Come on, just go. What that one gets like you do? Get it over. Yes, Dolce. Helen, hold it. Why don't you get down? You stay there. Right, go on. And you pricks. Stay there, stay there. Come on, get over. Get over there. Oh, get on this fucking wall. Get on the wall, on the wall, on the wall. Come on, next one. On the wall. Right, go, go, go. Go. Come on, we can fucking piss this. Push. Come on, come on, move it. Pass it now, pass it, pass it, pass it. Come on, get it over, get it over, get it over. Come on, come on, come on. Forward. Hey, you get off back. Left and right off the wall. Left and right, come on. Back the wall. Move up, move up. Left on the edge, mate. Pass it down, pass it down, pass it down. Come on. Fucking move. Ready. Right, let's go. Well done, well done, well done, well done. What platoon's that? Burma. Section 1. Section 1. Number 1. Any odds we get the stretcher race beforehand, does it? No. When do they do the stretcher racing? Well, they're not bothered. Now. That's what they do. Stand by then. Take one, Normandy. Ready? Go! Come on, lads! Oh, come on! Whoa. Come on! Sprint! 1 and 3 metres on there! No! Start it! Gotta beat this goal there! Come on! Come on! Come on! Get it up! Get it over, man! Quick! Get over! Down, Cal! Down! Get it! Start getting everyone over! Get them over! Hurry up, man! Get underneath it! Got me! Get over it! Ready? Lift your feet up! Go! Get them over! Let's push! Here, it's me that's your cunt. Come on! Game! Wait, pull yourself up! Come on! Shoulder! Pull yourself up! Shoulder! Right! Move, move, move! Go! Come on! Hold them! Get over! Why do you... Wait, pull yourself over! Hurry it up! You okay? Come on, go! Come on, think about it! Get hold of him, Kingsley! Get hold of him. Right, get hold of his webbing now as well. We love get on! Pull him over! Pull him up! Come on! Pull him over! Pull him over! Come on! Pull! Right, go, go, go! Go on! Go on! Go on, hurry up! Right, get over the ladder. Give me one of them. Come on, get over the next wall. Go, go, go! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, hurry up! Get over the wall. Get over. Make sure how to climb that net. Go! Right, come on! Come on, Robbie! Wait, don't let me down. Don't worry, lads, over here. Keep it going. Come on, Robbie. Tell people stay there to get us over. Stay on that wall, get us over. It's all right, you money bomb. Go it! Get your feet off that strap! Come on! Come on, get in! Come on, get it going! Come on, get it going!
position, that's also the finish position. Any questions?
You'll finish in the position you are in now, one behind the other.
Couple Macintosh and couple Daniels will take you around the course. They'll tell you exactly where you're going.
Hey, Mick.
Right, stand by. Go. Come on, lads. Come on. 3, 2, 1, left. Go. Come on. Come on, Normandy. Stay still.
Probably one of the hardest things we did was the stretcher race. You know, it was 160 pounds of a stretcher made out of scaffolding. 4-man teams, which changed over. It was over a 2-mile course. You know, in this terrain, it wasn't actually flat. It was through trees, rivers, across ditches, through mud, all sorts of terrain. You know, really bad it was. Including that, you had your full combat zone, as I'm wearing now, plus the webbing, 25-pounder webbing and your rifle.
Come on! Get there! Get there! Get in there, cold brain, come on! Next two, get it moving! Wasting time! Stop, get it moving! Get out, get with your partners! Get back with your partners! Come on, son. Guts and dry. Guts! Men into the obstacle, come on, mate! Come on! All the way through the water, through the water! Through the water! Through the blasted water, get in there! Go on, Get up there, you! Get up there! James! That's the ball! Get it up! James, Jimmy! Get 4 people in the water now! Move! Go on, move! Go on, Carol, Fred! Come on, in and out! In and out! Come on! Pass it out! Get in there! Pass it out! Come on, push it! Get over your side! Go! Get down, go! Go! Come on, get out there, don't you! Come on, you got them, man! Get out there, man! Pick the fucking thing up now! Press her, I'll kick your camera fucking up! Get over it! James, press her! Come on! James! Come on, press her! Come on! James!
Your feet in. Belt them up. Get up there. Get up there.
Come on. Come on, Beaumont. Come on, Beaumont, get down
Come on,
there.
guys.
Come on the scrum there.
Come on, Beaumont.
Come on, lads, work. Work. Work some aggression.
Come on,
Darren.
Come on. Darren,
Come on,
Darren, take it easy.
Come on. Come on.
Any more? Go on, get off that thing. Get off that thing. Go on, Tay, move it.
Come on. Sprint. Last man. Come on, come on, come on. Get him over. The lock's coming. Get him over.
Get right.
Come on. Get over. Get him over. Wait.
Mind you, I'm just looking in the way. He's shadowing me. He's shadowing me.
One straight line behind the stretcher. These guys finish.
Runners just go across the way.
Mouth shut.
Right, left.
Don't fight among yourself.
Hey. Hey. You don't know. You know. Why not?
Station, not too back. Into your position. Come on, get into your position.
Come on, 3 sections. Stop failing. No. Come on, they're tired back there. Move it. Come on, 3 sections. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, let's have you swap over. Come on, Austin, stop this in here. That's good. Now, we all know what
Guys with me. Keep the grip of the fucking. Right, and cheers, group. We're back in the stage of the stretcher and take it through. Important, 4 of you follow me. Get through.
Haven't they? Depends on what I did over the log road, which is depends on the shooter room. So it was about 20 seconds in from that one.
There's a minute and 10 there.
Yeah.
You've got
and a minute 20 there, Ross.
Yeah, minute 28.
That's
35 seconds.
So minute one.
Go on. Show targets. Ensure your gas regulators are set at 5 or 6 and that your sights at 300. Weapons down the range with a magazine of 10 rounds. Load! You will be firing on the left-hand target. Ready?
How many?
You will receive one exposure of 35 seconds. You will fire 10 rounds at the left-hand target. Are there any questions? Look to your front. Watch and shoot. Watch and shoot. For inspection, port up. He springs. Lay weapons down. Stand up. Ensure you bring with you any rounds ejected and your magazine. Stress off the front, hand in your magazine and any rounds ejected. As soon as you've done that, one line on the path facing me.
On target.
Jasper! Jasper! Come on! Stay there! Push yourself! Come on! Push! Push!
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up!
Stand up straight! Stand up straight!
Stand up! Stand up! Okay, it makes it difficult! Come on, run! Come on, outside! Get it in this time, quickly! Get yourself! Come on, him! Come on, run it bastards! Come on! In! Lock him in, lock him in! Finish him in a straight line, the time stop! Come on! Straight! Stand up straight, one straight line! Straight! You and me can have a little chat here. Straight to put in the back of this Land Rover.
Our fastest.
And you heard 4 of you pick that up the Land Rover and the coat. You'll be in the Go on, let's just run, Robbie. I know I feel it so with Fucking no problem, mate. Who's getting pissed tonight then? Me. No, we're all ready for it. We'll use one now. Joking. You are joking after that.
Well, 31:15.
Yeah, 31:15.
Well, that's it. Normandy 1. Yep. Everything.
We've got the best section.
Section 1.
Got the best section.
Section 1.
Yep. 1.
Section 2. Then is section.
Be here to present the trophy for our serious competition. He's actually away for most of this week. He will be here Friday for the passing out parade, which you'll notice to back up. Like any competition, there has to be winners, there has to be losers. But this competition is designed so that each section is a winner in its own right for having achieved the standard you've achieved on this particular competition. If we look at the scoreboard, there's actually only 5 minutes separating all sections, which is bloody good going. Competition is normally tight, but not normally as tight as this. You've all tried hard, you've all done extremely well. It is without doubt the most physical exercise, if you like, you will do during the 9 weeks here. And to have achieved it, and for so many in both platoons to have achieved it, is quite an achievement. Certainly there are a number of occasions in the past where recruits have actually looked upon this competition with a degree of trepidation. Today, I've noticed, looking at all the sections, you've all approached it with the right attitude of mind, you've all worked well as teams, and I think generally you've all enjoyed it. Win or lose, you've had a good day, the weather's been good, and you've actually produced some bloody good times. So that leaves me with the final thing is presenting the trophy to number 1 section Normandy. Section Commander. Well done. I'll clean it. And where's the section? Yeah.
Straight line from the outside. Come on.
I'll have you beat yourself.
Let's go.
One missing.
Oh, thanks very much, Cliff.
Right, and congratulations to Normandy platoon, who will then stand right of line in 2 weeks' time on the company passing out parade. So well done. Well done to you all, and enjoy the next 2 weeks. Okay? You've actually reached quite a good peak this time. The next 2 weeks should be downhill as far as your training goes, because it's just your final testing, 2 weeks to go, passing off. Well done.
Cheers to the OC! Prep! Hooray! 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 Three cheers for Burma!
Manasseh, Morelli, Patterson, Prosser, Robertson, Smith, Smith.
Doesn't turn up, then you go face to face and I'll put
Put your arms.
Sorry, no, this is... I'll go to the back.
Got a right, quick, march. Left, right, left, right, left, right, right wheel. As you work, go straight on. This has been really good.
Get out of the way there. Are you going?
We're going right.
You're on the left side.
Then go round it. Send it through. Hold the rear.
Hey.
Rear marker, just stay where you are. What are you walking forward for?
Squad, we had about 4 of you drop out for a start.
And those left were in bits at the end. It's not far, and we walked most of the way, so we should have done a lot better. We had too good a time at the weekend or something, but it wasn't good enough. And another thing, slightly offbeat, is this webbing. It's still in bits. I told you about this on the first run we went out on. Some of you don't look like you've got anywhere near the weight you're supposed to have. Apart from that, bits of it are falling off. Bushby Jefferson, where is he? Have you still got all that stuff hanging on back there? Get it sorted out, okay? And get it sorted out tonight. Right, so Oswald.
Not so bad. Clean pair of lights.
I think the target Osborne wasn't very happy with our time when we finished the 6 mile run, so he decided to take us over the bunkers at the back of the camp. Which was...
The big people get to the back and push the weaker one! Fuck you then! Stand up! Stand up! Let's stop your day. We're not scared of Amanda. Steph, come on! Get Steph! Steph! This is what we're passing out with. Get Derek! Come on, Derek! Get up! Come on! Come on, get it! Get it! Come on! He is! Come on, Derek! Steph! Come on, Derek!
Push it, come on!
Get fucking going!
Jeff, come on!
Here, grab one, come on! He's alive, Al! Come on! Holes out for 2.5 sections. Is this it, is it? No, sir! Keep out space that way. Come on, move it! Come on! Hurry up! All you have to do is swing it. Yeah, double! March! Right! Get him out and close up! You can't throw the fucking opening goals!
Gonna get you in, Steph, haven't they?
Well, those of us who passed the 6 mile run, that's basically the running finished. It's only field training to go, so hopefully we'll be able to pass that.
It's got to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. And this is the thing that kept me going through it. Yeah. Oh! Right. Why is it important to go through in one straight line instead of all bunching up? Now, first of all, because they're going to fucking shoot you. If you're all bunched up together, you make a nice, easy target. Secondly, gone for it. So just because you see the enemy there, doesn't mean to say they're not there as well. So you go through as one straight line. That way, you cover the whole area the enemy might be in. You take out the whole area the enemy might be in. If you don't happen to run directly across the middle of an enemy fire trench, that's a bit upsetting, I know. However, if you all decide to go at one particular enemy, he'll get shot full of a million bloody holes. And all his mates who were sitting round and you didn't see, will kill you. Because you've missed them. But if you go through as one straight line instead of bunching up, A, you're not going to make yourself an easy target, and B, you're going to take out the whole enemy position. Now do you see why it's important not to bunch up? If I say that is the axis, and we are in extended line that way, then you go in a direct line that way. If you've got to go straight through the middle of an oak tree, you go through, right? You go straight that way. And you keep going up, down, firing all the way through, until you hear me shout reorg. And
green tree, yes? That is your axis, okay? Right, near ground, Slightly left, large green bush. See?
Yes, see.
That is where your enemy's going to be. Alright? Now have a go. That is where your enemy's going to be. Alright? Last one. Next time we do it, we'll be doing it with the ammunition. Alright? Gun group on the left. In fact, no we won't. We have gun group on the right. When I say prepare to go right, you will move up to the bushy area on our right. Right, prepare to move. Move. Get, move forward. Finger back, faces, spread yourselves out a bit. Pink. I want you to head straight for the bush. Right, finger back, spacing. You should be an extended line. Slow it down, Hinks. So get yourselves your distances. Has anyone seen the enemy? Come on then, Hinks. Get a target indication. Come on then, you've seen him. Kettle. Can you hear that on the end? No. So much for the extended line. Look at it. It's more like a donkey's hind leg. Access. 80 mils left. Low bush. See? See. Easy. Watch him fire. Move! Go on, you've got to get round the back. Hurry up, Robertson. Come on! Be there! Not off the nigger's lick. Get moving! Bang, bang, you can. Bang, bang. You've got the good news. What are you banging? Bang, bang, bang. Hinks, come here, what a bang. The Hinks, come here, I've run out of bangs. Prepare to give covering fire. Delta, prepare to move. Caterpillar. Move! Come on. Who said down? Who said down? Move! Down! Move! Down! Delta, move! Down! Charlie, move! Down! Delta, move! Down! Charlie, move! Down! Move! Down! Move! Down! Move!
We come out here yesterday, we dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and we were put into 3 sections and marched off in patrols to a certain area where we set up a harbour area all around defence and such, and we stayed there throughout the evening, throughout the night. Someone out on patrols during the day to get food, which was mainly a map reading exercise. Each man taking turns to get to a certain point, and if they got it wrong, we would have missed out on food. Luckily we got it right. You go there.
range. Go on, quickly, get that kit pack.
At night, some more went out, just on a recce of an area, just for practice, while the rest of us did guard. Then this morning we bugged out of that area to this area we're in now, where we've been digging trenches all morning, all afternoon, and that's just about it so far.
Got the grab. You got shot, but you got the grab. You got shot. What are you doing here? Got menu D this time. Hey? We got menu D. Make change.
Trenches cammed up, get the sleeping bays done, 18 inches, get them tested.
Right.
And then I want to know when you're complete.
Right, once that's done, get their meals.
Yes.
No meals before.
Yeah, there'll be a change to the programme tonight as well. We're going to do recce's on the other position.
Yes.
For a dawn attack, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the 60 range, and you can go in.
Where's the other one? Where is he?
They both. Let's go, you go.
Right, come here. Who's on this tent?
trench. Get in, both of yous. Get your wet one. Right, take up fire position. Right, it's still a bit shallow, isn't it? Isn't it? Right, let's get the sleeping bed done. Right. Right, what you want to do now is get some logs across it as well. Helps support it, okay? Get some logs over there. Get some logs on it, get your kip sheet on it. Let's get it covered up. You want 18 inches of soil over it, right? Understand? Hello. That'll do me.
Perfect.
That'll do for me. Right, you can flank 10 cent. I want to start turning this up. I will. Before we start, I want to clean up. Stop a bit. Yeah, just move it back. And roping. And we'll do the put logs underneath a bit and then we'll do a lot over. Put logs over it. Yeah? Put logs. Put that rope down first. Put logs over it. Should we have this for you? Yeah. Go across that way first. And go that way, both ways. Put sheet over the top, compact here. Yeah? When got shot? You shot? Yeah, I think it's near David Gold. Suit your face.
Clear the road.
See, set that grin. Oh, I wish you'd set one off.
Huh?
I wish you'd set one off.
We're going to serve them all.
Throw the smoke canister out. I want to get the opening point.
Well, we arrived here yesterday and practiced section battle drills for a couple of hours, and after that we started digging our trenches. Carried on through the night and finished that off this morning around about 6 o'clock. After that, breakfast, then more lessons with section commanders, and then a recce patrol around about dinner time, like that. Oh, a mock before the recce patrol, a mock battle with a couple of our staff. That's been it up to yet.
Well, training at Rowcroft's dead hard, like, and you get dead depressed over it. But when you get letters from home, it puts a smile on your face, puts a bit of a spring in your step, you know. Especially these type. You know, especially in the field, when we got them in the field. Bring me anywhere. Do for me. Right.
Can you see the enemy?
Okay, so we've finished the first phase of the exercise. The platoon have moved into the location and they've consolidated a good defensive position. Since they moved in, they've had absolutely no sleep. So we've moved now into the second phase of the operation, which is the patrolling, gaining information about the enemy.
Yeah. This will obviously be a lot harder. They've not had any sleep. We've been bumping them through the day, through the night, keeping them on their toes. It's going to stretch them to their very limit, and if we go through keeping on like this right through to the morning at daybreak, when we have the final terrifying, blood-curdling platoon assault, that should just about sort of finish up the exercise and complete it on a high point. Yes, that's right. Before they start filling in the trenches again.
Great stuff. Catch a transport about 6.
Should be good.
Looking good.
Come on! Down the call!
How much time is it? Just to find that aspect of it. That's good. So you've got a very firm base.
What are you hoping to doing what sort of vehicle? Yeah, so you've got some basic mechanical skill. Yes, sir. Right. Why did you choose the I think you're right. How do you get into that?
I go away every year with my parents, go to hospital.
So, is that a downhill, or do you lang lap as well?
No, not lang lap, just alpine skiing.
That's too much like hard work, is it? Well, you might be invited to follow that up a bit, although once you get in the core proper, as you know, we've got many outlets in skiing. Yes. So, well, I wish you well in your career. Carry on with this, please.
Yes.
Cancellation. So you have to be well placed to pick it up.
Automatic cancellation of the spans functions.
Oh, yes. Please do.
Order! Up! Close! Order! Right! Dress! Order! Turn to the right! Right! Turn! Recruits, review order. By the center, quick march. Training battalion and depot, Lord Electrical Mechanical Engineers. General salute. Send up. Soldier, ups. Order, ups.
Cooper, REME will now present the awards for notable achievement.
Positions. Up. Right. Tap. Up.
Normandy platoon, Craftsman Smith.
What are your particular interests? And was it a close run competition?
It was, very close.
So it was a high standard?
Yes.
And what are you hoping to go on to do?
To be a finance.
Yeah, and beyond that, you saw?
Possibly Sergeant.
So one step at a time. Anyway, very well done, and it's a marvellous achievement.
Shot Normandy platoon, Craftsman Kinsley.
Very well done.
Yes, sir. That's in the Air Force.
Yeah. And why did you transfer to the army?
Just part-time. I wanted a trade.
I see. Yeah. And what is the trade to be?
Aircraft technician, sir.
And the shooting you will continue?
Hope so, sir.
I hope so too. We have quite a good reputation, as you probably know, for some people like you to mention.
Sir.
But very well done.
Sir.
Physical Fitness Award, Normandy platoon, Craftsman Wilson.
Very well done. So, your particular interest, yeah. And you've been doing it for very long? Yeah. And what are your particular interests within the physical fitness world?
Gymnastics,
It's gymnastics. Are you going to be able to follow that through?
Hopefully,
Yeah. Where are you going to be?
Trade-wise, be a vehicle.
Yes. Is there much at Borden, do you know?
I don't know, sir. I don't quite yet.
I suggest that's one of the first things we'll be doing. Yeah, good. Good.
REME Association Award for Endeavour, Normandy platoon, Craftsman Temperley.
What is the particular endeavour which has won you this award?
I think it's digging a trench on the answer.
But you've clearly had a good crack at it. So you've got the right sort of spirit, and obviously that's going to stand you in very good stead throughout your career. It's very well done, and the best of luck.
Thanks, sir.
Recruit, Burma platoon, Craftsman Francis.
Very well done. Is this come as something of a surprise? Did you have to beat off fierce competition?
Yes, a lot of competition.
Yeah. And so, how close do you reckon it was?
I think it was within sort of 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Yes. Right. So, pretty high standards.
Yes, it's not hard.
Well, you've got a very good start, and I'm sure you'll maintain it. Once more, very well done.
Shot, Burma platoon, Craftsman Andrews.
Have you had much shooting experience before?
I was a shooting, sir.
Yeah. And on what basis was that? Just having one at home?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and so, what are you hoping to do with your shooting expertise?
Hoping to take it on, maybe get more experience.
Yeah. Well, certainly don't waste it.
Exactly.
We're in need of good shots, and you can preserve the core traditions in shooting.
Thanks, sir.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Physical Fitness Award, Burma platoon, Craftsman Handley.
So, what particular interest do you have?
Mainly sports.
Yeah, but what aspects of sport?
And fishing.
Yeah. And the physical fitness, what did that require for you to win this award?
A lot of hard work, sir.
Yeah. And what about skills? Are you a gymnast by nature?
No, sir.
Yeah. So you had to work hard at it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, that shows great determination, and of course that'll carry you through very nicely. So
Thank you very much, sir.
keep on gritting your teeth, and I wish you all the very best.
Thanks, sir.
Good.
REME Association Awards for Endeavour, Bomber Platoon, Craftsman Baxter.
So, what are you hoping to do now?
I'm changing my car, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, take me for a driver.
You're a driver. So did you choose REME specifically?
Yes, sir.
So how did you greet the news of the transfer?
I didn't take it too well.
No. But how do you feel about it now?
No, hopefully it's for the best.
Yeah. I think it will be. You've had all the reasons explained to you.
Yes, sir.
And the fact that you should have much better career prospects because you'll be in a much bigger role with greater opportunities. And I believe that that's right. But I could see that you would be disappointed having just come into the Corps. But I wish you all the very best in your new career. And you kept that.
Yes, sir.
Winner of the Commanding Officers Competition, Normandy Platoon, Platoon Sergeant Sam Ames.
Soldiers, up! Passing off platoon will march off in slow time. In words, flow! Man! Ready! The remainder! Set! Up! Pass it up! Silence! Inward wheeling! Slow! Fast!
Break into quick time. Quick march.